Recording is on.
Okay, well, that's fine. So the recordings has been shared and we can always go through it. So yesterday we talked about UCD. UCD is user-centric design. You can call it user-centered design as well. So it's basically product manager using the UCD approach. Is an approach you can call it an art as well that helps you to build products that it focus on the customers. It's an hack that allows you to carry the customer along in all the stages of development, like all of the stages of development process. The UCG allows you to carry the customers along. So we were not able to finish it yesterday, so today we'll continue from where we stopped. And yesterday we had a class activity which has to do with you looking out for a product, those people that uses the product, what problem they face while using the product, and what's the kind of solution that can be preferred. So without wasting much of our time, let's start today's class. I'll be sharing my screen shortly. Please a minute while I share my screen. Okay, let's confirm that you can see my screen. Can anyone see my screen, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, we started yesterday with the definition of UCD. User-centric design is a process. You can call it an art. You can call it an approach as well. Being users' needs, their challenges and preferences at the forefront of every decision that you make for the products. Like from your ideation to launch and beyond, you put your customers in the forefront. So, and we also mentioned why it's necessary, why it's important that we use the user centric design approach. It's because it helps the products not only to be functional but also enjoyable by the user, and it reduces waste of development time, and it also improves our customer satisfaction and retention, and also for better business outcomes, and why what is happening in the market is happening. All right, so we have the core principles of user centric design as well. We talked about focusing on the customers, understanding their needs, designing with real users' feedback, and also testing early and often while continuously improving the products. That's you keep iterating your improvement. So we also looked at the user centric design process, what it entails from the first one that we can see on the diagram, which is the research and understanding the customers. We've quite talked much about researching and understanding your customers because you are building for your customers. And we also talked about the ideation and conception development. That's when you start penning down ideas on how to solve this problem. Then creating wireframes and mockups. We already know what mockup and wireframes are. And we also talked about prototyping and testing. You prototype, the difference between when you have a design and when you have a prototype design. prototype designs are it's not like they have endpoints, it's just design, but they're applicable designs. Then also implementation and deployment. That's when development teams implements using the PRDs, the designs that you've provided for them, and they deploy. Then also the post-launch evaluation, even after you have launched to the market, you keep checking for feedback, studying the behavior, how people interact with your product. So the user-centered design process, that's all of these are well explained in this diagram. So this is itemizing them and explaining them one after the other. We already know how we can do our user research. We can use interviews, surveys, observations as well. Then divining the problem as well. You need to define what the problem is after you have researched. It's not enough that you researched about your customers, but also you should be able to define what exactly the problem is. That's where problem statement comes in place. And also we talked about the ideation stage. That's when you start generating lots of ideas, as many as possible at that point in time. There are no wrong or right ideas because you're just generating ideas. Then this is a class activity where we stopped yesterday, where we pick a software application, who our user is, what they are trying to achieve, and what challenges they face while using the applications. So, and three possible solutions that can be done to help this. So that was where we stopped yesterday. So today we'll continue. We'll continue today. So we'll continue with the step four, which is a design solution now. So for the design solution, first of all, you can use different tools for your design solution. You can use sketches. We all know what sketches is. Example of sketches include sketchbook, Adobe Illustrators. So sketchbook is just like you're using your normal drawing book or white paper or anything at all to just have a rough sketch of what you want. You already have the idea. So you are trying to do this to have a rough sketch of what exactly you want. Then we have wireframes. You can use your Figma for wireframe. You can use Workflow. You can use Canva and Miro as well for your wireframes. So these are wireframes that are just like mostly used for applications, mobile and web applications, where it connects from sign up to this, from this to the dashboard. So in that order. Then we have low fidelity mockups. So example include Dribble. You can use these are applications that you can use. They are they are simple designs that you can just quickly do for your engineering team to understand. So now our focus should be on usability. When you are designing, you are not designers. We all know that you are not designers. We have UI UX designers, which are the product designers. But you should always know that usability should be in mind first rather than the beauty. You want your application to be fine. Yes, it's good that your application is fine, but always remember as well that it is not enough that your application is fine, but it should be usable. And I also mentioned it yesterday that in whatever product that you are trying to build, always ensure that it doesn't function alone. Exceed that aspect of functioning, but rather let it function and let it function, let it also serve the purpose for which it was meant to serve. So always note that when you're asking your designers, because you are involved in this, when you're asking your designers to design, they're not only designing based on a beauty, I want it to be flashy, I want it no, you should also be usable. Do not go and combine so many colors that the users are I don't know how to put this now. The users are confused and bored. So always also note that usability is very important. That's the essence of your product design. So now our step 5 is to test with users. Now, like I said yesterday, when you're testing, you do not leave the work as a product manager to just be QA to test. Testing job, you are the idea, you are the CEO of the product, you understand the product, you know what you're trying to pitch. So you better understand how the product should work. And because of this, you should also be involved. Like the product manager is involved in every circle of the business, like every stage of the product, you are involved. So you are also to be involved in the testing. Test with the users. When you test with the user, you're able to get their usability testing, you're able to observe users using the product. What challenges are they facing? We also mentioned something yesterday where we said, okay, your app will lose a lot of customers or your app will lose its users if it has a great function, but the KYC is complex. If there is a particular place on the application that is complex, it will lose its users. And many of us on the call will testify that yes, at one point or another in our lives, we've used applications, we have tried to fill a form, and because the form was so cumbersome, we had to leave it and never completed it. So, as product managers, always have this in mind as well. When your product or your application is too complex, people will leave it to other applications that are easy, that are easily accessible, easily understandable. Just like I said, nobody teaches you how to use WhatsApp, nobody teaches you how to use Instagram and the likes. So your application as product manager should also be simple, not the complex type now. Then ask questions. Ask your users questions. Ask, get their feedback. You need to ask questions as product managers. There's not enough products are in the market. You need to get their feedback. You need to understand how they feel when they're using it. Are they happy? Are they just using it based on this? Why exactly are they using that product? And are they getting value for the product? So you, as a product manager, you have to ask questions. Then identify friction points. So when there are friction points, please try and identify it. Now, you'll notice that most of your users are not completing their registration. You need to make more, you need to analyze it. You need to be explicit about it. You need to be intentional about why is it that my users are not completing their registration. So that's when you now start analyzing that. At what point are users dropping off? Is that the step one? Is it step two? Is it step three? Oh, it is the KYC. At that point where they are asked to provide their NIN, their BVN, this is the point at which most of them are dropping off. So because of this, you already identified that there is a friction here. Then you need to reevaluate as a product manager that, oh, most of my customers are leaving the application just because I asked them to provide this, which I also mentioned an experience I had too. So because they are leaving this because they feel this information is too confidential for them, or this information are too much to be asked for using the application, they are leaving your application. You as a product manager, you have to re-strategize. So you have to re-strategize as a product manager. So always note that testing is not to prove that you are right, but to learn. So as you continue to test, you continue to learn, you continue to learn. Like, oh, when I do this, it this. What if it is this? That's why I would say there for QA testers, there's usually what they call the positive and the negative testing. There's the positive and the negative testing. So you test like this, it works. Also test, what if I enter this? Will it work? So these are things you should always consider when you are testing your product. Please, are we still with me? Can you still hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay, moving on to the next step, which is iterate and improve. So when you are testing, you've tested your products, you've noticed, you've gotten customers' feedback, you've tested with the users. Now, inculcate all of those feedback that you have getting to iterate your improvement. Iterate the version that you released version one. Version one does not have this particular feature or there is a bug. So from the feedback that you got from your user, because you have tested with your user, you need to iterate it and improve this. So you fix issues found during testing. When you test, you definitely find issues. Developers don't like QA team because they know they will always find issues. They will always find bugs. So try as much as possible that every bugs that are found when testing are fixed as soon as possible. Improve your designs as you are testing as well. You try to look at what's the customer experience like. When I'm asking my customers to send phone, are they able to view, are they able to are they able to see their beneficiary on their transaction history, or do they need to do one click again? Like, just look at users as not smart people, look at them as not too genius people. So you have to make your product very, very, very simple. Ensure that the design is not, some users are very lazy. Just because you have to go and click on this, they lose interest in your app. So make it easy for them. Like, see your app as coming to aid them, see your product as coming to assist them to make their work more easier. Automate processes, then you repeat the cycle. You keep iterating, improving. Oh, you've done this now. Okay, customers are giving this feedback. You analyze it. You keep iterating your improvements. That's why every day, not every day though, almost all the time you see all these are app, WhatsApp is coming up with new features every day. Because as a program manager, your work does not end. You have to keep iterating, improving, even when your product is already launched in the market. We have the key UCD tools and artifacts. The first one is the user personas. We already know what user personas are. So they are fictional profile that represents key users based users type based on real research. Now note, fictional profile. When we talk about user personas, we talked about fictional. We talk about fictional profiles. But note that these profiles are representing real information, real research, because you've conducted your research and you know that, oh, Ade is a salary earner. Ade works 9 to 5 in Lagos. Ade is faced with this problem. So you already you've made your research and you're working based on the real research that you've done. So this help the team to understand who the product is for and guide decisions around user needs and goal. Now, one thing about personas is it makes the whole team, the stakeholders involved, to know that okay, we are building this product. Just think of it. Of what sense or of what use does it make? If you are an engineer now and you are building a product, you really do not understand who your users are. You don't even know, you're not looking, you're not thinking from the perspective of the user. You're just building because your product manager have asked you to build. So you don't have to do this. You have to ensure that all your engineers, everybody involved, in as much as you are a stakeholder in that product, for every team members that are involved in building of the product, they need to really know who they are building with. You need to have your business meeting, you need to have your business alignment. Let them be aware that, oh, this is who we are building for. It is only when they know who they are building for that it guides them in building what they are building. You cannot say you are building, you as a product manager, you are building for age 18 to 40, but your engineers, the developers does not really understand, because they do not really understand. They are using concepts of people's in their late 50s and 60s. So they need to understand why exactly they are building that product, who they are building for. So that's why user personnel is very, very important. It really gives you like a pictorial profile of the person you are building for. So when you have the profile of the person you are building for, it makes your work easier because you have actual facts about that person. And when later you launch into the market, such person, when you build your product and your product gets to such kind of person, they feel like, oh, those people, is it as if they knew me to my, like, they really knew me for them to build this product. Like, this product is truly for me. So that's what we should always think as product managers. Then the user journey maps. So these user journey maps capture what user think, feel, say and do. They help team build empathy and understand users' emotion, motivations and pain point. So when we talk about user journey maps now, it's capturing how your user feels. Are they overwhelmed because they are using your application? What are they doing? How are they interfacing with your app, with your product? Because you also need to study customers behavior of how they interact with your product. You can say your product is this. Let's use a physical product now. Let's use a physical product for instance. Let's use noodles for instance now. Noodles, what's the concept of noodles? Not the small ones. So I mean the normal noodles. It's for people that needed something to make, like a fast food within two, even though it's not 2 minutes, but they will tell you 2 minutes. Let's say 5-10 minutes, your noodles is ready. That's the idea. That's the concept. But later, you know that some persons were interacting with that same product in another way, eating raw noodles. Initially, that wasn't the concept. But now, some persons are interacting with the product in another way. So you also need to study this. You need to study this. Who knows? Probably there was a study on how people were interacting with their products, and that was why they started doing all the small noodles, the small ones that already have all the seasonings and you can crush it without even having to cook it. Because they saw that, oh, people were eating, or people were eating the other one raw, so they had to come up with another one that this one is ready to eat. So it's very important as product managers to understand how your customers interact with your product. It is very, very important to understand that. And the only way you can do that is through your user journey map, which captures what they think, what they feel, what they say when they use it, what they do. What are people saying about your app? This app is too complex. This app, when I want to do this, it closes, this particular thing closes. I cannot do this and do this at the same time. You have to capture all of those. You need to understand them, so they help the team to build empathy. So why you need to understand them, why you need a user journey map is for the team to build empathy, for the team to put themselves in the shoes of the users now and understand what their emotions are, what the motivations and pain point. So it is only when you understand what they are feeling, what they are passing through, that's when you can now say, oh, this is their pain point. Okay, because this is it. How do I come in? How do I prefer solution to this problem? So you have to always put them in mind. You have to empathize, like have that empathy is a very important skill. Like put yourselves in the shoes of the user. It is only when you put yourself in their shoes that's when you can really understand what their pain points are, how they feel, what they do, what they say about the applications, about the product. So it's very, very, very important to know that. Then we have another one which is empathy map. So it shows the step users take when interacting with the product. They help identify friction points and opportunities to improve the overall experience. Now, when we talk about this empathy map now, we talk about every step, how the user interacts with your product. For each and every step, where is the friction? I made mention of the KYC issue. Now, okay, you notice that many persons are dropping off your application, are dropping off your products. Why? Where is the friction? So empathy maps helps you to see the step by step. Okay, how many steps do you have when you're trying to sign up into your application? At what point are customers dropping off the application? So you really need an empathy map to be able to deduce all of this. So that's where you will. It's only when you identify the friction points, that's when you can now see, oh, these are opportunities for me to improve the general or the overall performance of the application. Oh, I see that at that point where I'm asking my customers to bring their BVN, they tend to leave the application. Oh, how can I do this? Okay, let me use another method. Yes, it's very important that I need the BVN, but how can I go about it? Okay, how about I ask them to sign up first without asking their BVN? And depending on the kind of application, if it is a financial application, when you're about to send money, I ask them to provide this. Or do I place a privacy policy or a data protection law saying that all of their informations are safe and accurate, are safe and are only used for the reasons and purpose why they are collected? So it helps you to improve the experience of the application or the product. So then we have wireframes. They are simple visual layouts of product screens. So when you talk of wireframes, you talk of visual layout, visual representations of product screens. That's when you have the screen one. The screen one is the sign up. The screen two is the login. The screen three is the dashboard. The screen four is the send money. The screen five is the beneficiary. The screen six is this. The screen seven is reset password. So it helps you, like as if for instance, if you are building a mobile application now, it's it simplify all of this into different screens. Okay, this is it, from this to this screen, from this screen to this screen. So that's what wireframe is. And prototype are iterative versions of a product ideas. So they allow you Prototypes allow the team to test functionalities and gather feedback before development. Now, prototypes, like I said yesterday, when you talk about prototypes are clickable, so it helps you to test. With prototypes, you are able to test. You are able to not real test now, but you're able to see the behavior. Like from sign up, you can enter from sign up. When you click on sign up, the other screen displays that, okay, registration successful, login. When you click on login, it takes you to the dashboard, it takes you to the next screen. So you're able to see the performance, you're able to see how the application will work when it's finally implemented and deployed. So from this, you can gather feedback before your development will even start. You can be able to gather your feedback based on this. So it helps you to also save time instead of building what is not and you now start correcting an already deployed application or future. You can do that while you use your prototype. So yeah, I have a table showing the UC tools, what it does, the fintech example. I'm using a fintech app as an example, then the everyday app example. Now, user personas. What user personas does is it describe a typical user so that the team know who they are building for. Yeah, I said this earlier. It's very important that the team understands who they are building for, and that's why it's important that you have a user personas. So, an example of a fintech app is a small business owner using a mobile banking app to receive payments. Yes. So if you want to use a fintech example now, yes, a small business owner using a mobile app to receive payments. You know that this business owner depends on this app to receive payment. So because you already know that this is dependent on a small business owner, so you can even improve your app to be able to send out invoices to customers. Once invoices is received, from there they can make payments. So because you already have that concept that the person using my application is a small business owner, then you start working on features that helps or ease the work of a small business owner. Now, everyday app is a student using Spotify to listen to music while studying. So that's an everyday example. Okay, Spotify, if you want to write if it's label Spotify here, and every day a student uses Spotify to listen to music while studying. Some persons cannot study without music. So because you know that okay, users are using your application to study, you need to also build around this. Now, okay, what are the things? What are also the side features, improvements you can make to make life easy for this person? Then we have empathy map. Empathy map helps team to understand what user think, what they feel, what they say, and what they do. As earlier I explained. So when we use a fintech app now, is understanding why users feel anxious during KYC verification. So yes, you can say, oh, I want to really understand why my users are anxious, why they are reluctant to fill in their KYC information during KYC verification. So when you know why they are reluctant, that is the only way that you can now prefer a solution, or you can work on an improvement that helps them feel more relaxed when using your product. So for everyday example, understanding why users feel frustrated when food delivery is delayed. Yes, how many of us have ordered for food, whether using Lover, any of those applications, and food was not delivered on time, and we tend to be frustrated. Anyone, why? Just tell us yes or no. Then, if yes, why were you frustrated that your food was not delivered on time? And nobody orders food. We are house chefs. Sorry, ma, please, can you come again? Okay, I was asking that how many of us have ordered food online and the food delivery was delayed? What was our experience like when it was delayed? Were we calm? Were we frustrated? If yes, why were we frustrated?
I've ordered ma, but the delivery was not delayed.
Oh, okay, that was a good
Yes,
experience.
ma.
Yeah. Another person.
Ma, I've ordered before and the food was very late, came very late.
What was
So
your
it was just
emotion like then when it came late? Were you worried?
like so unlike them. So they not told me that the problem was they changed their delivery guy that time. So I was frustrated. That that was my experience.
Okay, why were you frustrated? Was it that you were hungry at that point in time and you, or your expectation was like they don't used to delay, so you expected them to deliver within that time?
Both because I was hungry and I know that they will bring the food and like the time range of 5 minutes, but this one so getting to 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I was like, no, it's unlike them. So that's it.
I got it. So exactly. So because of that, now you have to understand customers' frustration. Know why they are frustrated. Okay, you already have a rule that okay, you deliver within 5 minutes. Ensure if anything will happen because they know they've changed their delivery person. It's be wise for them to have like send like an in-app notification that this delivery or an estimated delivery time that oh this is the ETA for this particular food that you have ordered for. Had it been while you were ordering the food, you already saw your estimated time to be okay, 30 minutes. Then probably you will not be frustrated. If you are good to go with it, you proceed. And if not, you leave. and look for alternatives. So these are things you should also note as product managers. Let's put that in mind. Like, let's put things in place. It's only when you understand the customers. Oh, my customers will be frustrated if you don't get their food delivered in 30 minutes. Then if you know that from 10 minutes you have changed, your system has changed. Now it's no longer 10 minutes, it's 20 minutes. Endeavor to make your customers, inform them, let them be aware. When they are aware, it even saves your customer support time. It saves them the luxury of time where they start answering customers complaint. I ordered food, I did not get it. It will save them all of those time. So another one is the user journey maps. It shows the steps that user takes when using a product. So a fintech example is mapping steps from app download to sign up to money transfer to confirmation. Now this is a fintech app trying to for sending money. So now you have to write down, or you have to map out the steps. Okay, customers go to app store, to play store, to download the app. From there they sign up. From sign up they're able to send money, they're able to transfer, they get a confirmation request. Then for everyday example, we have mapping steps from opening Uber to booking ride to making your payment. So another one is problem statements. For problem statements, clearly explains the user problem before building solution. So it's very important now that before you build any solution at all, before you build any solution, ensure that you have a clear problem statement. It's only when you have a clear problem statement that you can start ideating, you can start preferring solution. So you cannot build a solution when there is no clear problem statement. There is no usually solution when there is no problem. Problem brings out when you the presence of problem brings solution. So you should always note this. So a fintech example is users struggling to send money quickly because the process is too long. Yes, because the process is too long, users are struggling. You already know that there is a problem. Why? Because users are struggling to send money. So what do? You reduce the process. If you're asking them 10 questions before, reduce it. It doesn't bite. Reduce it to 5 questions. Look for how you can ask them those other questions in exciting manners or in ways that will not really weigh them. So everyday example is user abandons cart because checkout has too many steps. Yes, I do this most of the time. I don't know if anyone does that too. You already pick a product from an e-commerce website that you want to buy, and you're at that point where you're trying to check out. You're trying to check out, the process is just too much. After asking for address, they keep asking for a lot of things. In fact, it's checkout is just so complicated. I think I've done that a lot of times. Yes. Once it's complicated, I'll never come back to that app again. So you have to make it simple. Now, when you know that, oh, because there are too many steps in checking out, reduce the steps. There's already a clear problem statement that this is why people are no longer using the app or no longer checking out. Too many steps. Reduce your steps. It doesn't bite. Then wireframes, those are simple sketches as we said. An example is sketch a transfer screen showing amount, recipient and confirm button. Then sketch of an Instagram profile page layout. So that's for wireframe. You already know what you want to do. Okay, this is what I want to do. I want to ask as minimum information as possible. Then you sketch it out. Then prototyping, there are clickable versions. So you can do a clickable version demo of a saving app before development. Okay, this is a saving application. These are the process involved. You sign up from these, you go to this. It's also a clickable demo of a new WhatsApp feature. So WhatsApp might be trying to introduce a new feature. They try to do a prototype of it, of how it works, the expected behavior when it is fully developed. You already have it in design first. Before it is fully developed, you already have the prototype. So now let's look at the common. Do we have any question before we move on to the common mistakes in UCD? Any questions so far? And are we following? Let me know if we are following, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we are following.
Okay. Cute. Did anyone drop any question on the box? Let me check the chat box. So you can also drop your questions, everything on the chat box. Let me check that. Okay, all right. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Sarisuju. Okay, all right. We move on. So let's look at the common mistakes in UCD. Let's not forget that UCD is user-centered design. We have common mistakes that people make, so that as program managers, we should not make those kind of mistakes. So the first one is designing based on personal opinions. If you want your product to succeed as a product manager, you do not have to design based on your personal opinion. Yeah, this is my personal opinion. I like it when it is this. Always note that you are not building for yourself. You are building for your users. You already have your target users. Always ensure that your design is based on the user's feedback, the survey that you've done, the market research, the user research that you've done. So do not make that mistake of allowing your designs to be based on your own personal opinion. Your personal opinion here does not count because you're building for the customers and the customers alone. So build products that are enjoyable, not only functional to the customer. Products that customers can refer to others. And that one is keeping user research. As product managers, you cannot keep users research. You need to, because you are building for them, so user research is very 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 important, especially when you are using the UCD. That's a user centric design. You have to conduct your user research. You cannot build a product when you've not done your user research for every product before you start development. So in order not to waste development time, always ensure that you conduct your user research. So as product managers, do not make that mistake of skipping user research. Always note this. And also ignoring users feedback. It is not enough to conduct user research without taking into place their feedback. Do not ignore their feedback. Inculcate, iterate their feedback into the products that you are building. It's very important, and that's why you're looking out for their feedback. It's for you to iterate that feedback into what you're building. Then designing for everyone. Do not make that mistake of designing for everyone. Like we've said this almost in all of our classes. Your product is not meant for everyone. For your product to succeed, you have to build for your target audience. Not all products, in fact, not all products are not for just anyone. So always avoid that kind of mistake. Building for I want to build for everybody. I want everybody to be able to use my application. I want everybody to be able to use my product. No, please do not build for everyone. Over designing instead of simplifying. As product managers, do not in any way over design. Instead of simplifying your design in order to meet customers need, you are there over designing it. You want it to design one elaborate, error free. No, do not over design. Instead, simplify your designs. So now, what are the roles of product managers in user-centric design? The first thing is advocate for users. Product managers, we must know that we are advocating for the users when we are building products. Your users are not in your organization. Your users are not your engineers. They are not with your engineers. So you are the one that have conducted the user research. You understand your target audience. You know who your users are. So now you are advocating for them because they are not at that point. They are not where the building is happening. Now you are building for them. So you are an advocate for your users. So product managers should know that their foremost role, that's their first role in user-centric design, is to advocate for the user. So in every of your stages, in every of the products that you build, you are advocating. So if you want to use a user-centric design approach, you need to involve, you need to advocate for them because you are taking them along, you are carrying them along in all of the steps that are involved in your product's development. Another thing is you ensure your research informs decision. When you make your research let it helps you to make informed decisions. So your research should guide you to make informed decisions as product managers. Also balance user needs with business goals. The user needs should align, it should be balanced with the business goal. Note that your business goals is important. So always ensure that the user needs are balanced with the business goal. Your business cannot say they are doing this, they are advocating for let me say just women, and you are building a product for men, especially when it doesn't align with the business goal. So always ensure that it aligns with your business goals. Collaborate with designers and engineers. As I've said this 2 weeks ago, you a tree does not make a forest. You have to collaborate with everybody that is involved in the building of your product, from your developers to the curating to the designers to the operations team to the support team, because it's the support team that will also help you when customers hit problems. So you need to collaborate with them, you need to work hand in hand to them, you guys have to work together. Prioritize usability in the roadmap. Yes, usability should be prioritized. Your application, your product should be usable, should be usable. Do not build a product that at the end of the day customers or users will abandon it. So let your product be usable. So you have to prioritize this when you are building your product. So here is a simple real world example: a food delivery app. This is a user problem. User abandons order because checkout is confusing. So the problem is the checkout is confusing. Because of this, user abandons checkout. Now, what's the solution? The first thing, you interview the user. Why does the user abandon the application? They tell you, okay, this is it, this is it. Now, observe where the drop off. You need to uh, you need to observe where the user drops off from using the app. That's why I said understand the friction, when there's a friction, so that you can work on it. Okay, you notice that, okay, this customer have ordered for the food, is just at that point when He's trying to check out, he abandons it. You need interview to really understand why users are dropping off. It could necessarily not be because the checkout is confusing. This could be probably after user have logged into the system, they picked the products they want to buy or the food item. They saw that ah, this thing is expensive. So instead of that, probably their budget is not up to that. They don't want to check out, but they've picked. Or maybe the delivery fee is too much and they cannot afford this with the food. So there could be many reasons why users are dropping off at checkout. And that's why it's important that you do your research to really understand, research about your users, to really understand what their behavior is, how they are interacting with the application, the product, and how they feel. Then you simplify your checkout. Now, because you notice that, oh, they are dropping off at checkout, what you need to do as product manager is to simplify the checkout such that it is very, very easy to check out. It is not overly complicated. Then you have to test it with real user. Oh, have you been able to do this? After you've simplified the checkout, then let the person try it again. Try it with the person to ensure that, oh, you are testing with real user this time, not necessarily that user that has complained, but other users, just to ensure that that problem has been fixed. Then based on the feedback that they've given you, you keep iterating, you keep building based on that. So you improve based on feedback that you've gotten. Feedbacks are very important and very necessary when it comes to product management. You have to iterate, you have to improve on the based on the feedback that you have gotten. Those feedbacks helps you to shape your product, helps you to understand what customers are saying about your product, how they feel about your product, how they interact with your product. So it's very, very important that you take customers' feedback. Never, like I said, one of those common mistakes, avoid it. Never ignore customers' feedback. Never you ignore customers' feedback. As product managers, you analyze all feedback, then align, ensure that they align with the business goals. So in summary, user-centered design helps teams to build products that are usable, that are meaningful and successful because they are shaped by the people who use it. So products are shaped by the people who use it. You cannot compare the first WhatsApp that we have with what we have now. They are continuously shaped by the people who use it because you start building on customers' feedback. You look at competitors' app. What's this app doing? Can I have it on my app too? Can I have it on my product too? So you keep iterating those feedback. You keep iterating those feedback when it comes to user centric design. So any question before we go to our activity? Are we clear? Do we understand? No one saying anything. Let me know if you are with me, please.
I'm with you.
Ma, she's coming. My mommy sent her on an errand.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. So let's quickly attempt this. About you know, who is laughing? Adedamola. Batunde, you were not on the call yesterday. Chika, you were not also on the call yesterday. And who else was not on the call? Abraham, is Abraham on the call? I'm not seeing all the users here.
Yes, ma. Okay, I wasn't able to join because I was traveling. My phone was low. So.
Oh, okay, okay. Abraham was not in class yesterday, and he's still not in class today. Who is Abraham's accountability partner, please?
So Abraham said like he won't join for this week and next week because he's writing exam.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I wish him success. Okay, noted. Who else is not on this call? Our accountability partner. I thought our agreement was that when we're coming on the call, we bring accountability partner. So we said, you where is your accountability partner? That should be. Oh, what's his name again?
Glorious.
Okay, Glorious is on the call. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Glorious. Okay, Babatunde is your accountability partner. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a mysterious person.
Who is that?
Adedamola.
Oh, okay. Adedamola. Oh, okay. Okay. Martha, what about your accountability partner?
Good morning, man. Not on call. Is Abraham? He's having his exam.
Oh, okay, okay. Wait, though, how many people are Abraham's accountability partner?
I think the person that spoke was just trying to, maybe she has reached out to him.
Oh,
But I'm the one.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Chika, what's your accountability partner?
She's the team lead. Don't for me. She's on the call.
Oh, okay, okay. What for me? Okay. All right, that's awesome. Okay, so let's quickly dive into the class activity for two. So that means it's only Abraham. Is it only Abraham that is not on this call? Team lead, is it only Abraham that is on the call, please? Any idea? Oh, we have no idea. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll move on. We'll move on. All right, so look at this simple real world example that I made here. A food delivery app stating what the user problem is. That this user problem is a problem statement. Then the UCD solution. So I want every one of us to attempt this. Is anyone saying anything? Someone is saying something?
I guess, ma. I think it's only Abraham that is not on the call, ma.
Oh, okay.
Hello, ma.
Okay, yeah, I can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me?
Yeah, that means we have a full house. Okay, makes sense. All
Yes.
right.
I just wanted to let you know, ma.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you started talking already, so attempt at class activity. Did you see what is on the screen? Was that not glorious? Okay, it was glorious. Thank you very much, TBH. Glorious. Okay, please, you started talking already. Just attempt this. Uh, a real world example. Give us a problem statement, then the UCD solution. Everybody will attempt it too. Don't worry, there's no wrong answer. Even if it is wrong, we are learning. So Gloria starts. Gloria Zero speaking, you are muted. So please unmute and speak. Okay, while we wait for Glorious to speak, who is going to go? Everybody will talk. So let's start thinking of our ideas now. Okay, Teresa, you would like to
Ma,
speak.
please, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so the question is what we are currently seeing on the screen, which says, pick a problem, an application now. Pick an application first. Any products, not even application. Let's not limit ourselves to software. So pick a product. Then let's give us the user's problem. That's the problem statement. What the user is facing. Why using the application now? Or why using the product? Then what's the user-centric design solution? You know that for user-centric now, it's you should be able to provide solution, carry your customers at all stages of development. So give us a UCD solution. For this one now, for this example I gave, a food a food delivery application. The user problem is user abandons orders because the checkout is complicated or is confusing. So what's the UCD solution that can solve this now? Interview the users. Like interviewing users can solve it. Observing where they drop off can solve it. Simplifying the checkout to ensure the checkout is not confusing. Then testing with real users. Then improving based on the feedback. So just tell us, even if it is one solution that you can think of, give one solution, one problem, one app. One app, one problem, one solution. One app, one problem customers face while using the app. Oh, is not the reason why they are building the app. The problem they are currently facing while using the app. You can use the everyday application that you use. Toshiji, did you get that?
Yes, ma, I did, ma.
Okay, so it's going.
Okay, ma. I'll go first, and I'll also use a food app, a food application, and user problem. What I ordered versus what I got. Most times, what they upload on their food app is not what they deliver. Please, ma, can you hear me clearly?
I can.
Okay, yes. So the solution is post what you sell, post what you are selling. It's not bad if you take a picture of the exact thing you are selling. Take a proper picture, whatever you have to do to and post it on your app, so customers can see that okay, this is what I have. Not that you take picture from somewhere else and then you post it on your app, and that's not what you are selling to your customers. So yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's a nice one. So the use this solution is to use exact exact.
But what Tori said you just said now, it doesn't have anything to do with checkout. This is after delivery. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is that about
What you just said now is not about checkout.
okay?
Yeah,
Sorry, so
it's looking like it's
what?
something like after service.
Okay, so what's the problem statement again? Sorry, what's the problem
Ma,
statement say? What's the problem statement with the food app?
not delivering what the exact thing that is on the app. I
Okay.
thought what to mention any app, the user problem, and a solution.
Yes, but you've already ordered the food. Sure, you get.
So that's not
And
that's not the app's
bef-
problem. It's the service
bef-
problem. It's not about the app now. It's the service.
Now you have an application. You've ordered. You've ordered. Like the app does not have any problem. It doesn't have to do with the design. You get. The food has been delivered. The only thing you can do is you not go back to order on that app again because you are guessing what you ordered versus what was delivered to you. So now, problem that we are looking at is relating to that product. Why you can no longer continue to use the product.
Oh, okay.
Get,
Okay, I guess now,
because
ma.
it has to
Okay.
do with designing.
Okay.
You get.
Yes,
So
ma. Yes,
think
ma.
of
Okay.
another
Thank you, ma.
thing. Think of it again.
Okay, ma.
I think I'm allowed
Okay,
to
ma.
speak. Should I give you time to think about it again?
Yes, ma. I'll go after Adedamola.
Okay, I did the mullah, please.
Okay, so I just wanted to say something to the Reschedules app. I still feel like it's an app problem because the problem is from the picture on the app. Because okay, if I sometimes when I want to order stuff online, I check the pictures that they upload first. So I feel like it's still an app problem because the user is seeing the user is ordering based off the picture they're seeing on the app. So if that problem of uploading something else aside what you're selling is solved, then there won't be any user problem. Then they will not deliver. Then they will not like deliver what the user is not expecting. I don't know if you understand. So okay, so this is the problem now. Okay, I go to an app, then I see a picture of jollof rice that looks very tantalizing to me, and I'm like, oh, I want it, and I order it. Then they deliver it, and then it's concussion I'm seeing. That's the problem. So how it can be solved if the exact picture of the food is uploaded and I see that oh okay this is what these people are selling, then I will not order that. I will go for maybe an alternative, maybe fried rice or something. Then another that they've uploaded the real picture. So and when they deliver it and I say okay this is exactly what I ordered from the app, then I will not have any problem. That problem is solved. So I still feel like it's an app problem. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I understand this. You know that we're talking about user centric. I understand you correctly. But we're talking about user centric design. Now, the problem statement is you've ordered already. People are not abandoning the app. Oh. You were able to successfully order the product and it was delivered to you. Look at this example now. User abandons orders. Why they abandoned it was because the checkout was confusing. Now, this you've
Okay,
ordered
so
the okay, yeah, proceed. You've ordered the product,
are we saying problems uh that make people abandon whatever product it is?
user's problem on the app. Why using the
Not,
app?
not,
Why
not
using
necessarily abandon, yeah. Just while
why
using the app.
exactly? Why
Sometimes you experience problem on some app and you will not abandon it, but just have it in the mind that you have encountered some problems. So for me, let me chip in my own contribution. For food delivery app, most of the times when we are using food delivery app, most of the time, not every time though, the user is hungry or doesn't have access to a physical restaurant or something. So when you use a food delivery app, at checkout sometimes, I don't know any app around in Nigeria now because I've not used for a while. You might have to now input your address every time. So sometimes it's a problem at checkout for some people when they're hungry and they're trying to order a food sharply, but they have to now put their address every time, and they are not new to the app. So it's one of the problems. And sometimes you have to enter your ATM card, debit card every time. So it's one of the problems that people have during checkout. And if you interview some users and they found out that that's one of the problems of the app, it's better you just save. Yeah, you just find out a solution to it by saving their address. So if they're not using their normal home address, it will be just be once in a while, and they will be able to input that too. So it's better you save their home address and debit card information if possible. So I think that will also solve the problems of checkout and it will reduce confusion when they're checking out on the app. Thank you.
okay, that was good, please. I don't know why I'm not seeing. Who just contributed?
Babatunde.
Okay. So if I guess it correctly now, the problem is wrong delivery.
So the problem is having to put address every time you make request on the app
Oh, okay. So and how
instead
to
of saving it.
oh, okay. And how to solve it is to put to save the customer's address
Home address.
so
Yes.
that you can just use it at every point in time when you order, or you can also change your address. Mind you, you can most times you might not want to order, you might not be at your home address.
Yes, exactly. So you can have option for home or office and maybe other one other place. That's all.
Then you can
Just in case maybe you want to order for someone, a third party, you can always have an address for someone else. So it will ease the pressure at checkout. So it will be easier for you to check out. And also you can also add credit card details at the end. You should be able to save. You should be able to save credit card details.
okay, so that you don't have to keep inputting it at every point in time.
Yeah.
Yes, that's also a nice one. That's also a nice one. Any other person? Glory.
So I will use TikTok as an example.
Is that Glory?
So while using the TikTok app, you can send no Adedamola.
Okay.
So while using TikTok app, you cannot send voice notes. So let's say me and someone are having a conversation, then I don't want to type and then I want to send a voice note. And then I don't have access to sending voice note on TikTok. I'll just abandon the app and go to Snapchat to send the voice note and continue my conversation there because it's easier. I can send voice notes, I can call, I can send images, I can send stickers. Yes, so that's one thing about TikTok.
So what's the UTD for it?
The solution is incorporating the voice note app, um voice note feature, sorry, yeah, to ensure smooth conversations.
Come again with that solution.
Incorporating the voice note feature
Okay,
on the
incorporating
TikTok.
the voice note feature would be the solution. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a nice one. Thank you, Adidamola. Who else is going? Who else? Another person?
Yeah, ma. I don't know if I can use
Continue, please.
this like more of like many students missing important deadlines because like maybe the updates are difficult to find on school portals. Then the solution I would say is like if to like conduct a user research like an interview whereby we interviewing the students about how they check their updates and whatever areas of the portal that or of the app that they find confusing, then maybe probably the feedback we get from students while interviewing them. Maybe this will help them change or redesign their portal image and all.
Sorry, come again with the solution.
I said we can use users research like whereby we interview the students by maybe probably asking them how they check their updates on the portal and whatever area they find confusing. Maybe they don't know how to navigate the portal app and all. So we ask which area they find confusing, then whatever feedback we get from them. So maybe the team will have to like redesign the portal homage and all, whereby so that like if there is any information, maybe for instance now, maybe the school wants to pass information to the students that okay, this date maybe like December 23, people that has not paid their probably their tuition fee, this is the deadline, so that like students can see the deadline, probably at maybe they'll find somewhere to put it at the home page instead of like maybe taking it to another screen and all. Because okay, let me use myself as an example. EXU, there was one level like that. I didn't know like they posted it on portal that this is the deadline to pay tuition fee. So I was not aware, and like none of our class rep could like tell us and all. So, but whereby there were some people that was telling us that they posted it on the portal, and this is me. I really don't check my portal. Once I just check the home page, this is what is there. Then I will not even bother to go to or maybe click on any other thing again. So I feel like if they can do, if I don't know if they can improve, probably maybe like put the information on the home page. Whereby that is where people like do check most times. It will be okay.
Okay, yeah, I got that. Putting important information where it is easily accessible for users to see, not hiding it, where making it complex or difficult for them to locate. I think I've experienced applications like that where you try to look for a particular thing and you just navigate all through. Like it's just so complex. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Oluwatu for me. Yeah, for that. Okay, so going back to Toriseju's response, example, and critically looking at it again, that you order the food just because you have a picture that is misleading, it's also an application problem. Critically looking at it because it's a misleading information and a poor UI or UX experience, such customers might not come back to use the application again. So when we critically look at this, we will also see that it's also a problem. And how do they solve this? They can solve this by using the exact pictures, the original pictures, in order to avoid what I ordered versus what I got. So it's still relatable to user-centric design because it has to do with design and it's more of poor communication features. You are seeing a picture of, let me say, is it, what do they call this thing now? All these spaghetti that has a lot of things garnished with it. But when you ordered it, you were getting a different thing. So this is also an in-app and a very very poor user experience because such customers might not even, you don't even, we cannot really classify it under after sales. Yes, you've gotten your food already, and it's not even all app that provides after sales service. So it's still an in-app experience, it's still an application experience because you ordered it based on the picture, based on the image that you saw on the website or on the application, but you got another thing, which is inadequate product details that was displayed. That product details displayed was inadequate and it was confusing. So for that, it will lead to lack of trust and transparency. Such customers will not, thank you, Doris, you stir fried spaghetti, thank you. And they give you see, exactly, because this is what you are seeing on the app. So it still has to, because one thing we should know that we are building for the users, and is this problem is related to the user. The user is not happy. We are building products that are enjoyable by them. But you end up, customer is not happy, but because they are hungry, they end up eating your food like that. Next time, such customer will even tell another one, if I'm the one, I'll preach it to everybody that cares to understand. So don't go and order their spare, what's it called? their stir fried spaghetti, they will give you jollof spaghetti instead. So it still has to do with it. So I don't know, do we understand? Are we all aligned? It still has to do with it still has to do with user centric design and an application problem. Babatunde Tobiseju Glory, are we all aligned on this? And for you to solve it, you have to incorporate users feedback, so that user can go to the app and say, hey, I ordered this, so I got this. It might be an error. Next time they will remove it. They might not remove the product, they might not remove that jollof spaghetti. Instead, they will change the name from stir fried spaghetti to jollof spaghetti, in order to avoid further confusion. Do we get it at all? Are you with me? No one is saying anything, or we are confused. Let me know if we are confused though. Wait, can anyone hear me? Hello? Can anyone hear me at all? I can't hear anybody again now. Hello? Can anyone hear me?